Hi, I'm Reyjen Ancuna, and today we'll be learning about naming alcohols, aldehydes, and also ketones under the branch of science called organic chemistry. Before we proceed with naming ketones, aldehyde, and also alcohols, we're going to first discuss what is the definition of organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is a branch of science wherein it is a study of structure, properties, composition, reactions, and preparations of carbon-containing compounds, which includes not only hydrocarbons but also different elements that contain hydrogen. And most compounds contain at least one carbon-hydrogen atom. And because of the natural bonding of carbon, hence the birth of the types of compound. And one of those compounds are ketones, aldehydes, and also alcohols. So let's proceed with naming them. First would be alcohols. Alcohols are commonly used, even though we are laymen or like ordinary people know the uses of alcohol. It's basically for sanitation, and it could also be found in alcoholic drinks, of course. It could also be used as a fuel, as a solvent, and many more industrial uses. Now let's proceed with how to name them.
Voice-over mode. Before we formally start with naming alcohols, let's first go back to how we would name an ordinary alkane. So first we would start with the locant, which is the number where the side chain is connected. Second would be the side chain name. Third would be minding the root or the mother chain of the whole structure. And then lastly, of course, is the suffix. To take this as an example, we're going to have this structure right here. So first, we're going to number them from 1 to 5, taking the locant of number 3 and 2 where it is attached, taking the 3 which has ethyl, and on locant number 2 which has a methyl. We're going to take the mother chain, which is hexane, and of course the suffix ane because it is an alkane group. Now let's proceed with naming alcohols. So first, the functional group of an alcohol looks like this, wherein there is an hydroxyl group attached in a carbon atom. Now the suffix would also be OL in naming this group. Taking this as an example, we're going to count this from left to right since the functional group is closer to the left. And as you can see, there is a methyl group in number 3, or methyl side chain in number 3. So we're just going to take 3-methyl and then locate the functional group, which is in number 2, and the mother chain, which is 5-pentane. So you're replacing the ane suffix with OL. Therefore, this is named 3-methyl-2-pentanol. Another example would be this one. So this would be called cyclopent-2-enol. Cyclo because everything is enclosed. We also have pent because we have 5 mother chains, and then 2 because double bond is attached to the second locant, and then we also have the suffix N because we have a double bond, and then of course taking the suffix of the alcohol, which is OL, that could be found in the structure.
Next would be ketone. Ketone is an organic compound containing the carbonyl group, this one, and it is made by oxidizing secondary alcohol. Ketone are often used as catalyst in different industries, and most of the time is used to stabilize the formulas of perfumes or paint, just to keep it from degrading over time. So let's proceed with how to name ketones.
So ketones have the suffix O-N-E or own, and it has a carboxyl group and a double bond of oxygen on its functional group. So let's take this one for example. As an example, here we started counting from right to left since it is closer to the functional group that way. And since we have 6, that's a hex group. So we're just going to attach that with the mother chain since there are no side chains, and since there are 6, we're just going to put hexa known following the mother chain plus the suffix ONE. So taking this one as another example, so we're going to start counting from left to right since the functional group is closer to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So since we have 4, that's butane. So we're just going to put butane plus the suffix one, so butanone. And since the functional group is attached to the second one, we're just going to put 2 and a dash. So this one is called 2-butanone.
An aldehyde or aldehydes are formed through the oxidation of alcohol, and commonly based on Britannica pH, it is used in tanning, preserving, and also embalming it as a germicide, fungicide, insecticide for plants and vegetables, but its largest application is in the production of certain polymeric materials. So let's proceed with how to name your aldehydes.
In naming aldehyde, we're going to use the suffix al. And also aldehyde has a carbonyl group which looks like this, a double bond of oxygen and a single bond of hydrogen. So taking our only example, this would be called propanal because there would only be 3 carbon here in this structure, since the double bond of O is not considered as a carbon. So therefore we have prop, since that's 3 carbons, and the suffix al, since there is a functional group of aldehyde. Now we also have this fixed aldehydes wherein 1 carbon would have a formaldehyde, and then 2 carbons in an aldehyde functional group would be called acetaldehyde, and 3 carbons with an aldehyde functional group would be called propionaldehyde.
That sums up our lesson today about alcohols, aldehyde, and also ketones. If you have learned something, give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our Little Mouse channel to be notified whenever we post. And anyway, again, this is Reyjen Ancuna, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!